Plaintiff Ruth Grimmett says the defendant is her stepdaughter, and Ruth has been married to her father for 17 years. Ruth claims the defendant has a tendency to attract bad men who can't keep a job, and her current boyfriend, the co-defendant, fits the bill. Ruth is suing them today for breach of contract and storage fees. Defendants Cassie Wooten and her boyfriend Keith Neer say Cassie used to be a drug addict, and she met Keith soon after she sobered up. Cassie claims despite her being clean, Ruth is constantly throwing her past in her face, and they're countersuing for personal property and a refund.
Start with you.
I'm sorry that it's had to come to this. I'm sorry that I had to come to court to get this resolved, but her father and I love her very much, love our grandchildren. She's been part of my life for 17 years since I've been married to her father. We've been there to support her children, and throughout her life. And this was another situation where we tried to help her out and to get her in a place, a residence for her and her children to be safe. And when she got with the other defendant, you know, he agreed that he would also help.
You dislike it?
Well, I dislike how they got together.
You dislike him so much you won't even say his name.
Well,
the other defendant.
With Keith Neer. I thought he was going to be the saving grace because she's had issues with, she's a loser magnet from her exes to this one. Why do you say he's a loser, man? Unfortunately, he can't keep a job either. She can't keep a job. I thought that he was going to be.
Because he's getting promotions from company to company, right?
Yeah, that's what
See? You don't know what you're talking about. The man's getting plenty of promotions.
Then he should be able to pay me then, right?
That makes sense. Well, let me hear from you all. Background.
Ruth is my stepmother. I feel that her and my father, they both have helped me. They both seem to not be able to get over my past. I did choose a bad lifestyle with my ex, and I chose to get out of that lifestyle. I met Keith shortly after that, and I feel that my dad and Ruth do not like Keith because Keith does stand up for me. They do put me down a lot of my past, and
how does it come up, putting you down? How do those discussions come up?
I really don't know why they put me down.
True? She says you all are critical or put her down or remind her, throw up her past regularly.
Not regularly when it comes up to jobs. We do tell her she needs to get a job. She needs to be responsible for herself, her children, you know. But
her past was what? Drugs?
Drugs. She's had shooting up issues. She's had the heavy meth.
Heroin?
Meth, I think, is what it was. I don't know.
Just the meth? Okay.
Some bad things with her ex.
How long ago did she stop?
Well, I thought that she had stopped with the ex, but from even Keith Neer also sent me notes this year related to drug tests.
How long do you say you stopped?
That she gave me?
May of 2015.
How long did you live this destructive lifestyle and cause harm to others?
About 7 years.
Okay. And did you go into rehab any time?
No, sir.
So 7 straight years without an attempt to change?
It was on and off for 7 years.
You know, folks who are in your situation, unfortunately, if it hasn't been a long time in between stopping and turning your life around, a lot of times people are still questioning. A year and a half, 2 years, you know, is not convincing enough, quite frankly, for a person who was addicted to drugs for 7 years.
Correct.
And so, you know, understand that. You know, a lot of folks in recovery, they just think the door is supposed to open wide up and come on in. But they forget that they've damaged these people. They forget that they've stolen their stuff. They've left their kids with them. All sorts of damage you've done. And so that's part of the reason there's some resentment there.
Correct.
And, you know, it takes a little while to get past that resentment. And so I thought I'd give a little insight for you and perhaps other folks who are in recovery. Your trust is not going to be regained overnight.
Correct.
So, sir, why don't you give me some background? You heard her describe your lifestyle. She says you can't keep a job, and I say you can't keep one because you get promoted to other companies, right?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Thank you. Thank you. See?
Never been
Go ahead.
employed.
How many times you been promoted?
I was a contractor.
All right.
Cable, and contracts run out, so that's not getting fired or unemployed. We just
No,
moved
when
to
you
a
say you was
different
getting
company,
promoted.
to a different state.
Don't make a lie out of me. Say you was being promoted.
90% of the time when that goes on, it's more money, but we usually have to move around, stuff like that.
But did they give you a
It
bigger
is-
title or something?
I usually keep the same title, but I do get more money.
Is that a promotion or what?
It's just more money.
It's just more money.
That's right.
That's a good point. You get more money every year, but you don't become the judge.
I've been promoted since I got here.
That's a good point. You say you haven't been promoted since you got here, but you've made more money. That's a good point, sir. With her, you ain't been promoted. You're seasonal work, and that's understandable. And that's a pretty good living, quite frankly, ma'am. All right, the breach of contract and the storage fee. She's going to share some of that pretty good living with this debt she claims you owe. Go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Tell me how he owes, or the two of them owe.
They owe for rent for January, February, March, May, and June of 2016. And
How much per month did they agree to pay?
$875
Okay.
a month.
All right.
And then unpaid utilities and items like that for a total of $200.
And when you've asked for your money, what have you been told?
Well, I've been told multiple things between I don't have a job right now, I don't have the money right now, we need to use the money for something else, Keith has past child support payments that he has to pay and he can't pay me.
How long has it been? I see you say they have not paid since January.
They actually, 2015, we went into the agreement in August of 2015. They did get everything current for the 2015 year. So it was 2016 that they started falling back not paying.
month?
January of 2016.
All right, and what I was getting to is, as he says, he works a seasonal job. What state you all live in? I'm trying to give you every excuse in the world. Trying to say you were promoted instead of lazy. What months are you down? Your work?
It's the months.
Lord,
It's not
you
really.
can't tell me.
It does go down, but the main reason for all this started was with child support. I was in agreement with child support to make my payments. And then I ended up getting divorced, and she took me to court for child support, which I agreed to, and I agreed to make the payments. And then I came up, I think it was 2 months behind or something like that, and the child support ended up taking 65% of my pay. So that was an automatic deduction out of my pay, and I couldn't do anything
All right,
about
so
that.
that's your defense? What is your defense to not paying, sir? Is it that you don't have the money?
Yes, sir. At the time, I was making good money, but when they were taking the 65%, I couldn't.
That's your only defense, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, and your counterclaim is for personal property and they refund?
Yes, in May of 2016, where the $1,500 is not being acknowledged that we did pay part of our.
You did not
from the
pay
ta-
me a penny since.
Let her finish.
We did pay, and then we ended up having to borrow a little bit back in June to help out, but we did pay the $1,500. And then as far as our things being put in storage this past April, my belongings was not returned to me. As far as I have a list here, the couch and things like that, and it's a value of $1,775.
What were the circumstances upon you moving your things into the storage unit?
I had a few days, or him moving to Wilmington, and me not being able to afford the place.
So you move them in the storage, and she took them? Is that what you suggested?
She didn't take them. She did help me get a storage unit and put them in. I think there was 3 days left, and they wanted them out that weekend. I got put in the hospital and was not able to move my items out at that time. They dropped my belongings off, and as far as the couch, my girls' beds, dressers, and all that, they gave to Goodwill or something, I was told.
All right, ma'am, did you move their things out?
Yes, sir, I did.
Why?
Because actually, Keith left Cassie and me cleaning up the mobile home, he hit the trails and went to Wilmington because
Why didn't you all move the things out of the storage unit?
she didn't get them out when we told her to get them out. She had 53 days to get them out of the
You
storage.
gave her notice?
Yes, sir, I did. And
Did they give you notice?
They wanted him off the weekend, and I got put in the hospital. So
How much notice did they give you?
They wanted him off the
53 days because I told her that she had to have
Okay,
them out
ma'am, you
within
don't know
30
enough. You can't explain your case, so I can't grant you a judgment. So I'll dismiss yours and grant you yours. Have a good day.
Thank you, sir. Yes, Everly, we love you. You know we love you. We've always been there for you. I just want you to get yourself situated. Keith even admitted just this couple months ago that she was still on drugs, and you're supposed to be her strength right now. So I really wish that you would be her strength and get her off the drugs and get her and the children where they need to be in a safe environment. I love you. I love the children. I want what's best for y'all.
stop dwelling on my past. Get a chance to know me, and nobody takes the time to get to know me. So you can go up hearsay, and you guys should. I would love to rekindle and everything. I have a brother involved, but I mean, I'm tired of being talked down to, and I can't progress in my life with negativity.
As far as my job goes, you know the situation with my job. And I told you that as soon as I could afford to pay you, I would. And then you'd have made no contact with me for six months. And then all of a sudden I get a letter in the mail being sued.